Hello everyone, I am Shana Kagatin, one of the members of Purple Group. So, the topic that has given to us is introducing and managing the products. So, in introducing and managing the products, the product life cycles or PLCs are vital for product management, aiding in strategic planning, resource allocation, marketing strategies, and product development. They offer a structured way to understand a product's journey from introduction to obsolescence, guiding decisions on marketing, pricing, and development. By analyzing PLCs, companies can position product effectively in the market, adapt marketing messages, pricing, and distribution channels based on each stage's characteristics. This analysis also influences product development strategies, emphasizing innovation in the introduction stage and enhancements or the diversification in the maturity stage. Understanding PLCs is crucial for financial planning, risk management, and overall effective product management aligned with market dynamics and business goals. On the other hand, a product can be a tangible or intangible item or service, with every product incurring cost, being sold at a price, having a useful life, and undergoing a life cycle that necessitates reinvention. Tangible products are physical objects, while intangible products are indirectly perceivable. Product management as an organizational life cycle function involves planning, forecasting, and overseeing product production, marketing, and development across all stages of the product life cycle. It entails gathering data, evaluating it through frameworks, selecting strategies, and implementing them to effectively manage products within a company.
Classification of products. Product classification is essential for various purposes such as inventory management, marketing, and regulatory compliance. There are several ways to classify products. First is industrial goods. Industrial goods encompasses a wide range of products used in manufacturing, production, and construction activities. These goods can be classified into three main categories. First is manufactured products. These are fully finished goods ready for use or sale, such as machinery, equipment, vehicles, consumer electronics, and appliances. Next is semi-manufactured products, also known as intermediate goods. These are partially processed items that require further assembly or processing before become finished products. Examples include steel sheets, processed chemicals, and components like circuit boards. Third is parts and components. These are individual pieces or elements used in the assembly or maintenance of larger products. They can be categorized further based on their functions such as electrical components or wires and connectors, mechanical parts or bearings and gears, or structural components or brackets or fasteners. Services versus goods. Services and goods are both valuable asset and economy, but they differ in nature. Services. These are intangible offerings provided by one party to another. Services can include activities like consulting, education, healthcare, and entertainment. They are typically consumed at the time they are produced and often involve a direct interaction between the service provider and the consumer. Goods, on the other hand, are tangible products that can be touched, seen, and felt. Examples of goods include clothing, electronics, food items, and vehicles. Goods are usually produced and then sold to consumers, with ownership transferring from the seller to buyer. Both services and goods play crucial roles in the economy, with services contributing significantly to sectors like healthcare, education, and finance and hospitality, while goods manufacturing drives industries such as automotive, technology, consumer goods, and more. Service products are like utilities, barbers, agencies, and in goods naman is cars and goods and food items.
What is product plan? A product plan is a strategic document that outlines the goals, features, timelines, and resources needed to develop and launch a product successfully. Product plans are crucial for aligning teams, tracking progress, and ensuring that everyone involved in the product development process is on the same page. Product life cycle are essential in product management for strategic planning, resources allocation, market positioning, product development, and risk management. They provide a framework for understanding a product life cycle, guiding decision making on resources allocation, marketing strategies, and development. Product life cycle analysis helps companies tailor marketing messages, pricing strategies, and distribution channels based on each stage. Product life cycle also aid in financial planning, allowing companies to anticipate revenue trends, cash flow requirements. Furthermore, product life analysis enables better risk management, allowing companies to adapt strategies to potential challenges. Five stages of the product lifecycle under components. The stages of the product lifecycle reflect the natural progression of a product's performance and market dynamics over time. Product lifecycle stages emphasize the dynamic nature of markets and the importance of strategic adoption throughout a product life cycle. Companies that understand and effectively manage these stages can optimize the product strategies, maximize return, and stay competitive in evolving markets. The stages of the product life cycle, we have a product development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Product development, we have a different aspects like market research, concept development, prototype testing, and product design. Number one, market research. Market research is the process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting information about a market, including its consumers, competitors, and overall industry trends. Its purpose is to understand customer needs, preferences, and behaviors, as well to identify opportunities and threats within the market landscape. Number two, concept development. Concept development is the process of refining and elaborating on an initial idea or concept to make it more concrete, feasible, and marketable. It involves fleshing out to details, defining key features, assessing potential benefits and drawbacks, and considering how to concept aligns with market needs and trends. Number 3, prototype testing. Prototype testing involves evaluating a preliminary version or prototype of a product, service, or system to gather feedback, identify issues, and assess its performance and functionality. This process helps refine and improve the prototype before it is finalized for mass production or implementation. Number 4. Product design. Product design is the process of creating and developing the appearance, functionality, and user experience of a product. It involves considering factors such as aesthetics, ergonomics, usability, manufacturability, and cost effectiveness to meet the needs and preferences of the target market. Introduction. We have different aspects like launch, market awareness, and sales growth. Number 1. Launch. A launch refers to the introduction of a new product, service, or initiative into market or public domain. It involves a coordinated effort to make the offering available to customers, often accompanied by marketing, promotional activities, and distribution strategies to generate awareness, attract customers, and drive sales. Number 2. Market awareness. Market awareness it refers to a deep understanding of the dynamics, trends, and factors influencing a particular market or industry. It involves being knowledgeable about key players, competitors, customer preferences, regulatory changes, technological advancements, and other relevant aspects that impact the market environment. Number 3. Sales growth. Sales growth can be measured in terms of percentage increase or dollar amount, and it can result from various factors such as increased demand, market expansion, product innovation, improvement marketing strategies, or enhanced customer relationships. Sustainable sales growth is often a primary goal for business as it signifies overall health and success in the marketplace. Growth, we have different aspects like increasing demand, competition, and expansion. Number 1. Increasing demand. Increasing demand refers to a situation where there is a growing desire or need for a particular product or service within a market. This heightened demand can be driven by various factors such as changes in consumer preferences, demographic shifts, economic conditions, technological advancements, marketing efforts, or the introduction of new products. Number 2. Competition. Competition is to the rivalry or contest between business or individuals operating in the same market or industry vying for the attention, resources, and patronage of customers. Competition can take various forms including price competition, product differentiation, market campaigns, and customer service initiatives. Number 3. Expansion. Expansion is to growth or enlargement of a business's operations, reach, or activities. It can take various forms, including expanding into new markets, opening additional locations, increasing production capacity, diversifying product or service offering, or extending the customer base. Maturity, we have a different aspects like market saturation, price competition, and product differentiation. Number one, market saturation. Market saturation occurs when the demand for a particular product or service within a specific market is satisfied or reach its maximum potential. In other words, nearly all potential customers who are willing and able to purchase the product or service have already done so, and there is limited room for further growth. Number two, price competition. Price competition is to the rivalry among businesses within a market to attract customers, prim- primarily by offering lower prices for their products or services. Competition, companies aim to gain a competitive advantage and increase market share by undercutting rivals' prices or by offering discounts, promotions, or price match guarantees. Number 3, product differentiation. Product, din- product differentiation is the process of distinguish a product or service from its competitors by highlighting unique features, attributes, or benefits that set it apart in the eye of consumers. This strategy aims to create perceived value and appeal to target customers, thereby enabling a company to command a premium price and achieve a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Decline. We have a different aspects like sales decline, cost cutting, and market exit. Number one, sales decline. Sales decline is to decrease in the volume or value of goods or services sold by a business over a specific period of time compared to previous periods. It indicates a reduction in revenue and can be caused by various factors such as decline in demand, increased competition, economic downturns, changes in consumer preferences, or external factors like natural disaster or pandemics. Number 2, cost cutting. Cost cutting is to strategic reduction of expenses within a business or organization in order to improve profitability, efficiency, or financial stability. This process involves identifying and eliminating unnecessary or non-essential costs while optimizing resources and operations. Number 3, market exit. Market exit is to the decision by a business to discontinue its operations or withdraw from a particular market or industry. This decision may be prompted by various factors such as declining demand, fierce competition, unfavorable market conditions, changes in regulations, or strategic shifts within the company.
Product features are development through market research, prioritization, and user feedback. Packaging is designed to appeal to the target audience and communicate the product benefits. The packaging should be functional, protect the product during shipping, and enhance a user experience. Branding is crucial. in product management, creating a unique and memorable identity that differentiate the product from competitors. A brand marks, which can be a word mark, symbol, emblem, or a combination of both, should be visually spelling relevant and easily scalable. This consistent use of the brand mark across all touchpoints reinforces brand recognition and coherence. Companies often register their brand name, logos, and other identifiers of trademark to protect their intellectual property and prevent infringement by competitors' trademark or enforce through legal means, and companies can take legal action and authorize use of infringement.
So we have here new product development process that we need to implement in introducing and managing the products. So there are 8 steps of new product development process. The first one is generating new product ideas. It is all about gathering ideas from various sources like customers, employees, competitors, and market trends. The second step is screening product development ideas. So, after gathering ideas from various sources, you have to evaluate those generated ideas based on feasibility, market potential, profitability, and alignment with company goals. The third step is business analysis. So, it is about analyzing potential costs, revenues, and profitability, considering production cost, marketing expenses, and expected sales volumes. Number 4 is technical marketing development. So, it is creating and implementing strategies to effectively promote and sell technical products or services to the right audience. Number 5 is manufacturing planning. So, it is about creating a roadmap for efficient production, managing resources, optimizing workflows, and ensuring quality control during manufacturing. Number 6, marketing planning. It is developing strategies for target market definition, market research, objectives setting, product mix development, and campaign implementation. Number 7, test marketing. Test marketing is testing the prototype in a real market environment to gather feedback on performance and customer response. So the last step is commercialization. What is it? It is moving the product into the full-scale production and marketing after successful testing, including setting up production facilities, distribution channels, and promotional activities. So to summarize, in introducing and managing products effectively, a comprehensive approach is essential. It begins with generating innovative ideas and rigorously screening them to ensure alignment with business goals. So, business analysis provides a deep understanding of market dynamics and feasibility, while technical marketing development focuses on crafting the product's features and specifications. Manufacturing planning ensures efficient production, and marketing planning establishes strategies for promotion and distribution. Test marketing allows for refinement based on customer feedback before full commercialization, ensuring a successful market entry and sustained success in managing products. And that's all for our topic. We hope that you have learned something. Thank you so much.